Good morning, grade 10s. This morning we're going to start with trigonometry. Now, trigonometry is derived from two Greek words, trigon, which means triangle, and metron, which means measure. So basically, we can say that trigonometry is the measure of triangles. Now, once we start to deal with trigonometry, we have to use what we call Greek letters. So the first one is theta, and then this one is alpha and beta, which looks like a B, and phi. Now phi is actually an irrational number, something like pi, something we'll talk about when I see you again. Now we also need to look at, because we're dealing with triangles, we start off with in grade 10, we're going to be dealing with what we call a right angle triangle. Now remember, in a right angle triangle, your side that is opposite your right angle is always called my hypotenuse. Okay, and Pythagoras said that the square on the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares on the other two sides. So if I look at this triangle, I can say that AC squared is equal to AB squared plus BC squared. And if I was looking for BC, I could say that BC squared is equal to my hypotenuse, which is AC squared minus AB squared. And for completeness sake, if I was looking for AB, I would say that AB squared is equal to your hypotenuse, which is AC squared minus BC squared. All right. Now, on top of Pythagoras, as well as Pythagoras, we're now dealing with a right angle triangle. So we now need to learn how to name sides in relation to an angle. So if I give you triangle ABC, if I call angle C, if the measurement here, the size of the angle, is theta, then in relation to theta, I can say that AC is still going to be my hypotenuse, and I shorten it to HYP, my hypotenuse. The side opposite theta is AB, and I therefore refer to it as the opposite side, and I shorten it to OPP. And then the side next to this angle theta, next to it, instead of next to, I use the word adjacent, ADJ. Okay, let's look at the next triangle, which is another triangle ABC, and now instead of looking at C, I've marked an angle at A, which I've called alpha. Okay, the side opposite the right angle is still your hypotenuse. But now the side next to the angle, this side here is next to the angle, so this is now my adjacent side. And the side opposite to alpha is going to be BC. So this is my opposite side. Okay, now we're going to look at what we call our trig ratios. So let's say I'm dealing with this angle C in triangle ABC in relation to C. In relation to C, I want to label my triangle. So this is going to be my hypotenuse. In relation to angle C, this would be my adjacent side, and my side opposite would be AB, opposite. Okay, now we have three trig ratios or trig functions, which we call them, and they are sine, cos, and tan. Not sin, sine, cos, and tan. Now for sine, the sine of C is going to be opposite. It is the opposite over the hypotenuse. And cos is always the adjacent over hypotenuse. And tan is always opposite over adjacent. Now this may be difficult for some of us to remember, so there are various rhymes that we learn about, and the one I like to remember is the following one, which says, oh, heck, another hour of algebra. If you don't like that one, find yourself a rhyme that you can remember. Oh heck, another hour of algebra. So we go ahead here, and I want to also label this in terms of the triangle. So the opposite side to C is going to be AB, so it's going to be AB, over the hypotenuse is AC. Then if I go and look here, is cos is adjacent, the adjacent is BC over AC. And for tan of C, my opposite is going to be AB over my adjacent is BC. Guys, it's very, very, very important that you go and learn your 3 trig ratios. If I look at another triangle, this triangle PQR. So let's say instead of talking about R now down here, let's talk about P up here. Now sometimes in a right angle triangle and in trig, we refer to the side opposite the angle. So in other words, this side PR can also be referred to as little q. And the side opposite angle R would be referred to as little r. And the side opposite P would be referred to as little p. Something, just terminology. So if we look now, Q is going to be my hypotenuse in relation to this angle P. This P over here is going to be the side opposite, and R is going to be my adjacent. So if I look at sine P, remember what is sine? Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Cos is adjacent over hypotenuse. And tan is opposite over adjacent. So now if we're going to go write those in terms of the baby letters, sine of P is opposite, which is going to be P over hypotenuse, which is Q. Cos is adjacent, which is going to be R over hypotenuse, which is Q. And tan is opposite, which is P over adjacent, which is R. Okay guys, I've given you some. Go and have a look on Google Classroom or on WhatsApp, and I've given you an exercise to label your triangles. Enjoy your day.